Previously on Balls.
Bollocks. We have terrible network problems, but we have got tokodds.com. Our backers, Brandon, is on, and we're going to just quickly talk through. Brandon, are you there?
Yes, I know.
Brandon, we got some more money to bet with from Leon, our Thumper Pigeon on Twitter, in case you guys can find him. Thumper Pigeon. I heard he buys and sells pigeons, but I'm not going to go into that. We are looking at a situation where our football, obviously in this country, for all the right reasons, has been called off for a week until Monday. We may look at some of the PSL games on Monday. There's some very interesting ones coming up on Monday in South Africa. But I've got to go straight away to the game that the Mole and I were just talking about, which is Manchester City versus Arsenal on Saturday, the early kickoff, 2:45 our time, and ask you if you think it might be worth putting a bet on that particular game, Brandon.
Oh, well, you have to ask yourself a question: is this the end for Arsenal? I mean, they lost last night. They lucky to get a draw against Everton.
They were, yeah.
On the weekend. So you know, the Arsenal fans wearing their Arsenal shirts in the studio need to really question whether the bad run's going to start. And every side goes through that little bit of a dip in form. And I know you were Mikel Arteta was off last night, 10 men. I don't know what you make of the second yellow card.
I didn't like it, yeah.
I'm sure you didn't.
Obviously I didn't.
Arsenal pushed it really close. I mean, I remember you saying that they only have to lose 2-0 to go through, and that's exactly what they did. One more goal would have made it very, very interesting.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you have a look at this game, I mean, Man City very, very impressive against Bayern Munich. I mean, they were a massive price, 7-1, to win the game. And they came from 2-0 down. I mean, if you were having a betting running there on the Top Odds front page, I mean, I think they went 14 or 15-1 to win that game, and they did it. So they're I think Pellegrini's got them right. I think they're going to make their massive run through December. I think that their squad is big enough and good enough to do that. And Arsenal are going to have their hands full. I mean, they're away from home. Yep. And you can see that by the betting. Alan Bookmaker offering 37-10. It's just under 4-1. 7-2 World Sports Betting. Man City 8-10 at home. Both bookmakers offering that. Clear favourites to win the match. Yep. It's going to be tough. City at home are a different animal. If this is at the Emirates, I'd say, gee whiz, Arsenal could maybe sneak it, but I think Man City will win.
Okay. You think Man City, when you don't think it would be a good idea to put a bet on Arsenal at 37-10 with Ellen Bookmaker. If you go, guys, anyone listening or watching at www.tokodds.com, down the green menu to soccer, and have a look at the various games they've got on offer there. We're trying to find a game we can put 500 rand on, the 500 rand of Leon Petz's money, that we could then make money for the Wings
6 million back.
Yeah, the Wings of Change charity will benefit. And I'm just trying to decide.
How did we go last week?
We went very badly. We put money on 5 golfers, and we didn't pick out what's his name, Bjorn. Thomas Bjorn. I had a look at him on the list last week and nearly put money on him, but he's not done much lately. Then he wins it. And we also put money on Everton to beat my beloved Arsenal, and that obviously failed, although I thought Everton did deserve a win there. And nearly got nothing, didn't they? So it didn't go well last week. We lost our 1,000 rand stake last week, which I hate doing. It makes me upset inside. And so I'm looking. I've got to find a bet and I don't want to take an easy bet because that doesn't bring us much cash for Wings of Change. So what about Tottenham Liverpool? How do you feel about that on Sunday?
So I just clicked on that picture.
Cool.
Just back to the Arsenal game quickly. I mean, like I said to you before, very seldom you're going to get that price on Arsenal again. So it might be worth putting the $500 on it. At the end of the day, the ball's around, and if Arsenal play well enough, they can beat anyone on their day. So I think you might be right in terms of value. And again, in this Liverpool-Tottenham game, I think Liverpool are massive, massive value. I mean, they're just under 2-1 with both bookmakers. That's Alan Bookmaker and World Sports Betting. And I think they'll beat Tottenham. I don't know the rivalry that exists between the two sides. I'm not really into that. At the end of the day, I'm looking at form, and if Luis Suarez is in the form he's in, I think 2-1. Maybe what we should look at doing to pick up odds there is maybe take a double. Take Liverpool onto Arsenal, and you're looking at around about 10-1.
Okay, I'm looking at Maz. Yeah, I mean, we're not the best technical bettors in the world, but a double on Arsenal to win at Manchester City and Liverpool to win at Tottenham on Sunday would pay out quite a lot of money. I know that. and we might try and do that bet. Maz, do you think we can cope with a double bet like that? I'm looking at Maz. Do you think we'll be all right with that? Do a double on Arsenal and... Yeah, we're looking a bit dubious about that. How do we do a double bet? You're going to have to help us. Maz will have to phone you later and we'll put this double bet on. And Arsenal to win at Man City and Liverpool to win at Spurs, double, will pay out a lot of money if they both win.
I'll tell you what it works out. I mean, it's about 13 to 1. So I mean, you guys can work it out. It's about $6,000, maybe a little bit more. A return, and you're hoping for two upsets.
Look, last week I made an unfair call where I said Everton would beat Arsenal, and poor Neil, because he's a Ghana supporter. I think I'm willing to go against my own team, Man City, this week.
Yes, absolutely. Turn it around.
Great. Oh, it's 18 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, it might be worth putting 100 rand on a bet like that, to win 1,300 rand, and then at least, you can find something else to put the 500 rand on. But Arsenal aren't out of it, I promise you. They're the league leaders, and they've got to come away with this game with at least a point. So I mean, take the draw out of the equation, and they're a very, very good price. I actually can't believe that they're that price. I know City are strong at home, but it's difficult. But like I say, you're getting rewarded with the odds. The bookies are being very, very generous there, about 13 to 1.
Yeah,
and that's a massive return if they both come in.
I like that. 100 rand on that double bet. I think might be the way to go with this, because that would be two sensational results, really, wouldn't it? Particularly Liverpool winning at Spurs and put obviously both managers. You also got, of course, Man United. Having this epic struggle to bed David Moyes into their situation with Alex Ferguson gone. And you've got them, another tough one this week at Aston Villa, who can go up and down, with the wind. And if Man United were to lose at Aston Villa, David Moyes is going to be an enormous...
Most definitely. I had a massive bet running on the Champions League. I had Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen to win, which they did.
Yes.
And then Shakhtar in the draw against Man United, and Phil Jones came to break my heart. Although I'm a Man United supporter, I really didn't believe that they deserved to win that game.
No, they didn't.
They were all over them.
They didn't play well.
And I think they're going to battle against a young Aston Villa side. I don't know if that Varman is fit. Is he still out? I'm not too sure.
I'm just looking at...
I don't know if I can take 7 to 10 Manchester United away at Villa. I think Villa also might be a little bit of value. Maybe Villa in the draw in that game. And the way that defence is looking, I mean, Rio Ferdinand, I don't know if you watched the game, my old friend, getting caught on the ball a couple of times. And, Villa's a very, very pacey, quick side. They're all young. And if United are caught on the back foot there, I mean, they can go and lose this game. And I don't know if their results have been very, very good away at Villa. I know that a few seasons ago, Makeda had to come and get 2 late ones to win the game. So we always battle at Villa. I don't know if I can take the 7 to 10.
Okay, well, so you're saying a draw, and you're also saying, what did you say about Rio Ferdinand again?
Oh, you're always getting caught on the ball, my mate. So like I say to
okay,
you,
listen.
if he plays, I always worry. I really, really do. And then you've got a guy like Johnny Evans running around shouting at everybody else.
Yeah.
And I know you love it when I rant and rave about
do.
that back four, but my goodness gracious.
Listen, Rio Ferdinand's got over 5 million followers. I've just banged in that last quote from you to Rio Ferdinand, Rio35 on Twitter. Let's see if you get a response. Well,
5 million followers, it's one follower too many.
Excellent, mate. Okay, listen, I wanted you to have a very quick look. Since the World Cup draw took place last week, we've been given another 500 from Viv and Leon to bet on the World Cup. We've already put money on Uruguay and Holland to various levels of approval and disapproval. Given the draw, I think the Uruguay bet was a good one. I'm now looking at a situation where I'm thinking about just putting the next 500 on Brazil, the obvious bet, because they've got an easy group.
They do. And I think Argentina have an easy group as well.
Yes.
And the easiest group of the lot for me was Belgium. I think Belgium will win that group and they'll win it fairly easily.
That was the bit everyone missed, wasn't it? That Belgium, Algeria, Russia and the Koreans. Belgium are going to walk that, surely.
Walk that.
I mean, I know Algeria can be sticky at times. I know Russia have got enormous talent, but they don't really do it at World Cups. I think Belgium will get through easily from Group H and forge on to the later stages, like everyone's been saying for months with all this, new talent coming out of Belgium and what a great side they've got. So suddenly Belgium look more, yeah. But I think I have to go for a Latin American side again. I think that Brazil, Croatia,
me too.
Mexico,
I agree with you.
Cameroon. Mexico aren't that good now. Croatia on a bad side. Cameroon,
Yeah, Brazil should cakewalk that
Brazil
as well.
should do that.
And
You take it for granted, but they're not a world class side. And Nigeria, I think, I'm looking at Argentina and Nigeria to progress from Group F at the expense of Bosnia and Iran. I think that's the way to go with that one.
now, just a quick question. What do you make of the Portugal group?
Right, the group of they all called it the group of death. Awful cliche, but actually, well, yeah, it is a group of death because the USA are a very good side at the moment. Well coached, well disciplined players playing all over the world. You've got Ghana, I think, are the best African side at the moment. You know what they did to Egypt in the playoffs really showed us a thing or two about how to play football in a two-legged encounter. Portugal with Ronaldo, that great playoff, against Sweden was magnificent. And then you've got Germany, the best side, one of the best sides in the world. It's got to be the hardest group of all. And I see Germany and Portugal. I don't see Ghana or the USA disrupting that, which is sad for Africa because Ghana always have a chance when they get through.
I mean, Portugal aren't lucky when it comes to the World Cup draw.
True.
I remember in South Africa, they also had a difficult group.
They did Brazil.
But, geez, the only difference in that group for me is Ronaldo. I mean, if he was injured or he wasn't in that side, I would like Ghana then to go through. But I still don't think that you can back Portugal to win the tournament. I don't think that one player can go and win a World Cup on his own. Although he did get them there on his own. So maybe that's a bit of an understatement. But, like you say, once again, the South American side, I think Argentina have an easy group. 5-1 with Alan Bookmaker, 4-1 with World Sports Betting. And that's potentially a final. I don't know if you guys know who meets who yet in terms of group winners, etc. And I think as long as Brazil and Argentina avoid each other,
they will. It's almost seeded that way. When I look at it, I think that's what the organisers were thinking because the top four groups end up playing each other through to the semis, A, B, C, and D, and that's Brazil in Group A, and then E, F, G, and H end up playing in the other semi generally, and Argentina in Group F. So I think the organisers are almost looking at Brazil v Spain semi-final and an Argentina-Germany semi-final. That would be the ideal scenario, I think, out there because Spain have massive support out there. So do Portugal, obviously Portuguese-speaking country. So Germany or Portugal against Argentina in one semi-final and Brazil against Spain in the other would be perfect for that World Cup if the stadium gets finished.
What a final it'll be if Brazil and Argentina meet and the stadium doesn't fall on their head. It'll be an unbelievable World Cup final. It'll be fitting to a tournament to be held in South America for those two sides.
Yes, it would be.
To be in the final, and that's why I say. I mean, Argentina at 5-1. I mean, Brazil will cakewalk it. I think they'll be in the final.
Yeah.
Barring a act of God, I think they'll be there, or a handball from Suarez. But Argentina, I think at 5-1, they'll get to that final, and they qualified very, very well. They've got the best player in the world, Messi, well, supposedly. And I think he'll come to the fore this World Cup, and he's going to make it difficult for other sides.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, let's try Argentina this week. Then I'm going to call Leon in a minute and see if that's all right with him. Put 500 on Argentina to win the World Cup. We've already got 500 on Holland and 500 on Uruguay. So we'll do Brazil at a later stage, maybe. I
don't think Brazil will shorten much.
No.
I think they'll stay 3-1 because they're expected to win their group. And they only might change, when they go 1-0 down against the side, and then you might have to, worry about that. But it's going to be such an interesting tournament. People are writing Spain off. England doesn't get a mention on our show with an English host.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Uruguay, and again, your side Colombia. Have we backed Colombia?
Yeah, no, we didn't back Colombia yet. I mean, I like Colombia. I think they're a very, very good side. I think that they'll be the Belgium of Latin America. I think. They've got all kinds of players, and Chile as well. And Colombia went and beat Belgium 2-0 that same week when Chile beat England 2-0. And I think that said a lot about football at the moment. And that was in Europe. It's not even in Latin America. So, I really do think that Colombia, Chile will also upset a few people and surprise a few people.
Just a quick question. I mean, we need to talk about England's group. I had a look at it. Who was in the group? It's Chile.
Yeah, hold on. I'm just coming to it now. I just clicked off.
Have a look at that. Yeah. Because I think they're going to battle to get through there. I think it's going to be a real battle for England to get through.
Mate, I mean, I'm in despair. I mean, I went into the last World Cup thinking South Africa and England could both emerge from the groups, and I almost wish England hadn't, because they got so thoroughly stuffed. Despite that funny goal, that Lampard did or didn't score in Bloemfontein, that England were basically not a very good side. We talked about this last night. I was talking with Deshi Bakhtar and a few other footballers at a golf club, and we were saying that England were all isolated and stuck out there in what's called Fekeng, and never really got on with the tournament properly. And now they've got Uruguay, Costa Rica and Italy in their group. Italy don't look a great side at the moment, but they always give England problems. And Costa Rica, again, one of those sides, in their own part of the world doing what they want to do. They shouldn't be too bad, but I think Uruguay, Italy have to go through from Group D, not England.
Well, you think about it, didn't Roy Hodgson come out and say, thank God that Italy's in his group? I saw something about that.
Yeah, no, he did, and I like Roy for saying that, and I think there's a chance. England have never got to, when England get to a World Cup finals, they've never failed to get out of the group. They've always got into the knockout stages. So this would be a first if they didn't get through this group. But, I've got to worry about them. I don't think they're a great side by any means, England, at the moment. But then sometimes that almost helps when you go in without any expectation.
I think that, backing Uruguay when you guys did so early and they've drawn a group like that, I think they'll get through. They'll be in the top two there.
Yeah.
So hopefully we have 4 out of 8 or 5 out of 8 sides running in the second round in the quarterfinal. For charity, that's always good.
That's what we'll try and do. Excellent. All right, mate. Brandon, thanks as always. So www.tokodds.com. You can see this conversation on their site. Pretty soon we'll have it uploaded onto there. And Brandon, we'll hope to make some money this week after a bad week last week. Charity deserves it.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Neil. I'll have a look on Twitter later and see what bets you guys have taken.
Cool. All right. Cheers, Brandon.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. That's it. Brandon from Top Odds. He knows his stuff, doesn't he? I mean, That double, I love that double of Arsenal winning at Manchester City and Liverpool winning at Spurs. 2 results that, it's tight. It's tight to get results like that. But if they come off, we get 13-1 on it, which is a great bet on 2 games. 13-1. Blimey. All right.
Visual radio. Radio like you've never seen it before. Balls.co.za